Hey guys, it's Luke here and welcome back to another video, and at long last we finally have another episode of the Audi S1 rebuild. To be honest, I've just been so busy at the moment, but I'm at the point where I've had this car now for probably 2-3 months and I just want to use it. I just want to drive it and get it fixed. And so as you can see, we have a pile of parts which I think should be everything that I need to get this car rebuilt, minus things like the body damage which will be done at a body shop. We should have everything all lined up here, ready to go. I understand that for a rebuild, not really much needs to be done. It's my first project to one of these. I wanted to play it safe and kind of get a car which I could fairly confidently do myself. Yeah, I'm really excited to get this car on the road, and so I suppose episode 3 of getting this car back together should be one where we make a lot of progress. Now quickly, I would like to just interrupt the video very briefly just here. I'm sorry that there has been a huge delay in the videos of this car. To be honest, this video, the intro you've just watched and the rest of this video was filmed about a month and a half ago. It's just been sat on my laptop and I've kind of been thinking to myself, look, I've got this car, I really want to drive it, I really want to get it on the road. And I'm seeing a lot of comments on the other videos on the channel, things like, have I given up with this car? Have I sold it? Have I just cut my losses, so to speak, and just got rid of it? But no, it is here and it is still in progress, shall we say. Now in this video, we do make a lot of progress. Yes, there are still some hurdles which I'm overcoming. I don't want to give up doing this. I've just been so busy. Something like this is, to be honest, way out of my comfort zone, if I'm being completely honest. And I want to do it right, and I want to do it when I've got the time. I'll let you watch it, have a look, see what you think, and then later on, we'll touch base and round up the video. So for those of you who haven't really seen the other videos on the channel, this is my first ever rebuild project. It's a Sepang Blue 2015 Audi S1. I used to have an A1, so I've always been a big fan of these cars, but I bought the car off a subscriber of mine, Rebecca, who I hope is still watching these videos. But as you can see, it's been in a little front end incident. Luckily, the damage is only to do with the front end. You know, there's a bit of stuff on the bonnet, the wing, the bumper I do have, which is over here. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, I can salvage that, but I'll show you more about that later. But yeah, it's done 62,000 miles. As I said, Sepang Blue. Luckily, none of the airbags have gone off. So you can see inside here, pretty clean and tidy. But yeah, I just want to use the car because at the moment, some of you who are already subscribed to the channel will know that I daily drive an E92 M3, which really is an absolute pain. It's very expensive to run. And so this is the goal, to get on the road as soon as possible and to actually replace that as the daily driver. So yes, I'm keen to get this on the road. And so before we do crack on with the first bits I want to do today, I'll probably best show you what is in here so we can take a look at what we're going to be fitting. Can you guess what it is yet? That looks proper cool, actually. First piece of the puzzle is, of course, a brand new front grille. Now, I don't actually like the original front grills. This one is actually a modified one as well on the S1. So I thought that I would go for a brand new one. And the reason for that is basically all the clips on this are just absolutely destroyed. And I think there's some elements which are missing. And yeah, it's just looking a little bit tired and a bit too far gone. There's also the scuttle panel up here, which is completely missing. So yeah, kind of this section here. So that's why we got this. Thinking of taking that off because I quite like how that looks like that, and then still running my plate kind of in the middle still. But yeah, that is looking cool. Very cool. It's a shame that we can't fit it just yet. wheel arch liner. Now this I'm a little bit concerned about actually, because, well, for two reasons. I've just reminded myself by looking at the invoice. This is from an A1. I couldn't find an S1. I presume they're the same, but it's also non-genuine, and I can tell that just by looking at it. So hopefully that works. It's fairly cheap anyway. But yeah, I took mine off on episode 2. It was just, yeah, absolutely mullered. You're not going to see, but yeah, I've thrown that away. So either way, I need to use that. Whether it fits or not, I don't know. 2 more boxes in here. This one is the most important for what I need to do today. In fact, it actually connects to this as well. So we'll do this one first. In here, we have some coolant, which I definitely need. I'll show you why. Now, seeing as my auxiliary radiator was completely demolished, spoiler, that's what's in there, I obviously took that off, and therefore, we have absolutely no coolant. So basically, I think that'll be the first port of call. Get this all fitted up, actually get the coolant in, bleed the system in on that, just so then I can then move the car and actually run it up to temperature and maybe move it around a little bit more than kind of just pushing it or moving it very quickly, because there's literally no coolant in it. In fact, I think these are the last few little drops just from the coolant lines just here. Yeah, absolutely nothing in there. This then is therefore the main piece of the puzzle, really. Now, I think my original auxiliary rad was holding coolant, to be fair. It just had a massive gouge in it, and I thought to myself, do you know what? I think, seeing as these are, to be honest, quite reasonably priced, I thought, let's just get a new one. Now, I've gone for a genuine part again. I could have gone upgraded. I could have gone something like an AirTech one. Not entirely sure what my plans are with this car yet, apart from just getting it on the road. Hence why I just went for a genuine one. Yeah, perfect. No massive gouge in it about there. So that is the first port of call, but I say first because it's more like second actually, because there's something down here which I definitely do need to address. And upon further inspection off camera, I think it might be a little bit harder than I first thought. Let me show you. This rad here sits basically on this bracket. Now, if you watched episode 2, you would have seen me remove the original unit here. Now, obviously, we've got the little kind of bungs almost, which fit into these orange mounting points here, which is not a problem. I think fitting it will be quite straightforward, of course, being a genuine part OEM. Of course, we've got the coolant line kind of adapters for it to all be fitted up. But that's not really the problem. The bracket here is the problem. Now, to be honest, you can kind of see it's a little bit mangled. There's a few kind of fracture marks here, and ultimately where it's sat here should actually be sat here. Now, I know what you're thinking. Why didn't I buy a new one? I tried, I've looked everywhere. I cannot find one of those anywhere. My only option then is to see if I can then bend this back into place. However, it is pretty rock solid. So I've no idea what I'm going to do, because obviously this rad needs to be mounted on this, but it can't be there. It needs to be here. That is the first port of call, and to be honest, I am a little bit apprehensive about it because I've no idea, first of all, how I'm going to do that, and second of all, if it's actually going to work. There's only one way to find out though. I think we'll find some tools and see if I can get that back into place, and then we can kind of put this back in place, get that fitted up, and then get the coolant in and get it running. First things first, brute force. Probably not going to work because my name's not Eddie Hall. Oh, do you know what that moved then? That moved, but oh crikey. That should, oh my God. This, I fear, might be too far gone. Look at that angle. Thing is, it's bending out from the bottom. Now, I need this here to just shift forward. I think, to be honest, this took most of the impact, or this area, to be honest, and you can tell that by looking at the bumper. But yeah, I don't know whether I want to really jack it up, get the wheel off, because if I'm going to be pulling it, I'll probably end up pulling it off the jack. That I don't want to do. Shall we just have a wonky aux rad? Shall we just have it where behind the bumper, the nice fresh bumper, nice new grille, everything's all painted, my aux rad just going to be in there, just squeezed in the corner. Do I see if I can find one of these again? Because I mean, I've looked for weeks for this bracket and I've seen stuff that's sold previously on eBay for like 65 quid, but there's just none of them. Literally cannot find any. I mean, look at this on my eBay. Top listing. Audi S1 auxiliary radiator bracket. There's just nothing. Like, I can get multiple different aux rads and all the coolant hoses, that kind of thing. That I've got, I don't need that. I need the thing that it fixes onto. Oh yes. Right. There's no gracious way to do this, really, is there? Is that meant to look like that? That's working. Yes! Oh my days! It's actually moving. Well, it's now cat S. Have a look at that. We are making progress. That's definitely moving forward. Trouble is, I don't actually know where it's supposed to sit. That's my only trouble. Okay, turn the cameras off for a bit just so I could concentrate. And I think I've made some decent progress. So I've loosely mounted the aux rad. Ignore the fact that I have maybe made a little bit of damage on some of the teeth, but yeah, ignore that. So it's not completely straight, right? I wanted to see how the cooler would sit with the bracket now modified. And I think it sits okay. Yeah, obviously I've turned the wheel for more accessibility. It's not completely straight, but I don't even know if it's meant to be. I'll be completely honest. Now obviously round here, where this bracket is bent, I obviously don't want that to be kind of fouling on the coolant pipe for obvious reasons. Now I don't know if that's why this is in place, but either way, that's kind of loosely in place. Still don't know what that is, but it's looking all right. Okay, coolant pipes, the two at the top are popped in place. I just need to get these clips here pinched with this. This flipping clip is such a pain. Ugh. There we go. That's not going anywhere. So now that should theoretically hold coolant. I don't know, I'm still not convinced I don't think it's far enough forward, because basically these kind of semicircle clips here is what this is for, which is like a ducting. However, on further inspection, I've got two of these mounts here missing. They obviously came off when the car was crashed. That's not really going to fit on there very well. I want to get some coolant in it. I can always carry on bending this back at a later date now that this is all in place. So that'll be the next step. And I think, in hindsight, I might need a new one of these, which is a pain because I thought I had everything I needed. Okay, I think it's time to at least try and put some coolant in. I'm pretty sure both the hoses I'm happy with. They're both connected pretty well, I think. I've got 10 litres of coolant. I think this takes 8 litres, so we'll have some to spare, but I think there's going to be a lot of air in the system, obviously, because to be honest, it hasn't had, well, the system's been open, I suppose you could say, for a few weeks, because it hasn't been, well, it's just been sat around, really. I don't have a funnel, so we're just going to have to try this without spilling it, which is probably going to go wrong, but, oh yeah, that's gone everywhere. Why do I do this with an audience? Okay, right, we're just gonna, let's just send it. Oh, there we go. Look at the flow.
Good flow.
Good flow.
Fantastic.
So that, let's see, anything coming out of here? No? Brilliant, cool.
Fixed.
Fixed, done. Right, so some of my so-called friends are now here. I've got an audience of pretty much all of my friends, like 4. Now, one idea which has just been mentioned, which is actually a very good idea, something I wouldn't have thought of, remove what is pretty much the highest point of the coolant system. Then basically when it's all full, it should then, well, come out here. That makes sense, doesn't it?
I can't wait for you to get slated if that's totally wrong.
Probably is wrong. This is probably a fuel line. But yeah, that would make sense, I suppose. So we'll just see, top it up. It's probably going to take, well, it should take about 8 litres, so yeah, we'll see how it goes. On further examination, we're all stupid. It's a breather pipe.
We all?
Well, you're just stood there though.
Correct.
So,
and that means I cannot be liable in any way for what happened.
Is there a backseat driver version of a mechanic?
so yes, it's me. Oh no, it's him, sorry. So yeah, I mean, this here goes all around here, around here, around here to where this is. So that's a breather pipe, surely.
That comes off that big pipe there that
Yeah.
feeds down.
Well, that was your idea. I just advertised it as my idea when I put the cameras on. It was your idea.
No, it was actually mine.
Oh, it was your idea.
Ladies.
Right, so that's just, yeah, a stupid idea, but hey ho. Pop this back on. To be honest, it's not actually taking as much coolant as I thought. So I guess we'll put it up to max and then start it, and then it will probably do coolant.
Well, I mean, we'll get it circulating, because obviously it's only going to use gravity. And the system...
Another stupid idea from a YouTube mechanic. Would you not want to start it with the cap off so it can vent air out?
Would that not just go everywhere?
Only when it's boiling, which I won't get to.
That's true. Yeah, valid. You should probably put some oil in it first, actually, because I did check that and it's got absolutely none in it.
You don't need it, mate.
Flipping out, why is this not going on? Right, we're going to run it for a bit. I don't think I've actually started this car on camera yet. It does run. Sounds quite good, actually. I'm not exactly sure what kind of modifications have been done to it, but we'll fire it up. So I'm suspecting that once the system pressurizes, this is going to start going down, because it's only taken like 2 litres, unless there was a lot more coolant in the system than I thought. But yeah, let it run for a bit. No leaks down here, which is good. Okay, it's been running a little while. We're at, what are we, like 80?
Yeah, just below 80.
Yeah, just below 80 at the moment. We've topped it up once more, but still haven't used all of this first bottle down in here. So I topped it up the second time, about maximum. So if I can just release some pressure here, see if it changes anything. Seems okay.
182.
81.
It's just ever so slightly creeping up.
Okay, yeah.
Moving a little bit more.
Okay, we'll see if it maintains 90. Yeah, I mean, the coolant line's still cold. Yeah.
Very cold.
I think we're all good. The car is now sat at 90 degrees, coolant temp. As you can see, it's been running for like, what, 10 minutes, something like that? Held the revs up at about 3k RPM as well. I think we should give it some revs. Should we give it some revs?
Give it some revs?
Let's give it some revs. I think this thing's got a bit of a pop and bang map on it, I've been told.
Does it?
I think it's been
Do you
tuned.
want to film it from outside?
We might do that in a minute. Sport mode, hang on. Drive select. Ah, dynamic, there we go.
Here we go.
Here we go. Maybe not.
No pops and bangs.
No pops and bangs. Well, it's maintaining what it should do. Normal running temperature. There's no leaks, anything like that. See what's going on up here in terms of the level. It's all right.
Just don't look over there. Just don't look over
What are you doing?
there.
Got Chris Fix.
Oh, fair enough. Fair enough. And then back to current time. As I said, we have made a lot of progress in today's video. The car is now completely running as it should do. The car ran initially anyway, but it had no coolant in it because I took off the auxiliary radiator or auxiliary cooler, which was pretty badly damaged. That, of course, is all fitted, as we've seen. Coolant is now, you know, all present and correct as it should. So in theory, minus the bodywork damage side of things, this car will drive completely as it should. Now, the main hurdle which I am facing at the moment is parts. I've seen a couple of comments, obviously as I said at the start of the video, I've seen a lot of comments about this car. Have I given up? Am I just cutting my losses with the project? And no, that is not true. This will be my daily, more to come in a separate video, but yes, I really want to get this car on the road as soon as I can. Now, yes, as I said, I did think that I had all the parts that I needed for the car, but unfortunately, such as life, as you're doing things, going through stuff, yeah, I realized that there are some extra bits that I needed. So, the S1 is here, it is still here, and I'm sorry for the delay, but we're getting there. As I said, parts are on order. The final, hopefully, parts are on order for this car, and it should be up on the road very, very soon. That is where we're at with the car. Unfortunately, you know, due to the delay with parts and time, this car has been kind of sat around really. As I said, this video, the main proportion of it, was filmed about a month and a half ago, which is crazy. We're gonna get it up on the road very soon and definitely cleaned up, etc., etc. But for me today, I hope you guys have enjoyed. Please do stay tuned for hopefully some really exciting videos on this car very soon, and maybe the reason why I have it and why I want it to be the daily. More on that very soon as well. But as I said, I hope you guys have enjoyed. If you have, please do make sure you leave a like and make sure to subscribe for all the adventures still to come.